Hi everybody, this is Jerry. Welcome back to Metaphysics for Kids. How we doing today? We doing all right? I know you are. Hey, did you look at the meditation video and start practicing meditation? You learning to give off that good positive energy and helping others? I know you are. Guys, today our topic, we're going to be talking about something I learned early on in my meditations. It's a great lesson. It's called We Are One. And you go, wow, what's that about? Okay, well, there's a lot involved to it actually. So we're going to take a few different looks at it and learn a little bit about it. Let's start off with a little bit of science for a minute though, because it'll tell us something about how we're all connected, how we are all one. And if we took anything, say the tiniest little thing we could see, there are things called atoms. And we're going to sort of think about it like atoms with our solar system, okay? In an atom, there is a nucleus, and let's think about it as like our sun, okay? And around the sun, just like the Earth and all the planets go around the sun, in atoms there's little electrons going around that. So in science we learned that if we put together some of these atoms, and there are lots of different kinds of them, we put them together in various ways, we can make all sorts of stuff. We can make, well, we can make a rock. How about that? If we put different atoms together, we can make a tennis ball. How about that? Did you know, and did you know, we can take two hydrogen atoms, put them together with one oxygen atom, and what do you get? Any idea? Guess what? We got water. How about that? And if you really think about it, our body is made mostly of water. That's why we need to drink a lot of water every day to make sure our body stays good and healthy. So science tells us that even though these little tiny atoms, little bitty specks, we can't even see them, they're so little, there's just millions and billions of them that makes up a rock or makes up you and me, but they're all moving. Who would think that a rock, of all things, was alive? But if you could really see those atoms, they're all moving, they're spinning around, there's energy there, there's life to it. The plants have life, we know that. Like our grass, we can sit there and watch it. We can't really see it grow, but in a week or so, we can tell it's grown because we have to mow the yard again, don't we? So we're all made of these tiny little atoms. They're just put together sort of differently to make different things. So that's what science tells us about how we are one, how we're all connected. We take in oxygen when we breathe, the breath of life, and our body puts out carbon dioxide. And guess what? That's what helps the plants live. They take the carbon dioxide and they make oxygen when they put it off, and that helps us. So everything around us is all connected in that sense. Now let's talk a little bit about what metaphysics teaches us about we are one, okay? Now, within all of us, we may look different, talk different, act different, but within each and every one of us, there's a little tiny piece of the Creator or God or the universe, little part in all of us that's a part of the Creator. I like to call it the little spark of the divine within each and every one of us. So even though we're different, this way we're all the same. We all have that within us. And let's talk a second about how all this works and why it really matters for that fact. Okay, so we're all different, right? Okay, well maybe we come up to a friend and say, wow, you look great today, you look fabulous. Well, that friend all of a sudden, boy, big smile on their face, they're all happy, and what do we feel? We're picking up that good energy, that happiness. We feel good in here. But on the other hand, if we go up to another friend, and maybe we don't mean it badly, but we go, wow, you look like a mess today. All of a sudden they're, oh, I feel bad. And you're sitting here going, uh-oh, I shouldn't have said that. But now I feel bad. What are we doing? We're picking up that bad energy. We made somebody feel bad. So within each and every one of us, we can make this world a better place. Or we can make it a bad place to be. And I think all of us want to be happy, want to live in a beautiful, wonderful world, right? So that's why it's so important for us to do the right things, give off that positive energy, help others, do good things for people. It makes a big difference. And if you really look at it, in this big universe, all these millions of stars and planets, we're just a tiny little speck. And you say, wow, how can that really make a difference? Well, it makes a big difference. Now let's think about that a minute. Let's take for instance, my good old guitar here, okay? And it has 6 strings, right? Let me see if I can do this. All right. So, if we have all our 6 strings, and they're all in tune, you know what? We can make some nice music. You know, we can do a good song. Just listen a second. Whoops, wrong one. There we go. Now that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? But guess what? What happens if one of these strings is having a bad day, gets out of tune? Then what does it sound like? Well, it doesn't sound all that good, you know. A little bit all right, but not that good. But what happens if a lot of these strings start getting out of tune? How good of music are we going to have then? Wow, that doesn't sound good at all, does it? Well, that's sort of how the way the world works, you know. If we're all in tune, if we're all doing good things, doing the right things, then life is much better. It's much more beautiful. But if we're having a bad day, we get out of tune, you know, guess what? The world doesn't work quite so good anymore, does it? The good thing is we can always get back in tune. We can always turn things around and have a good day. You know, share with yourself, share your things with others. That's one of the best ways to make the world good every single day. You know, if you have a little plant, take it and water it, you know, take care of it, and it'll grow to be a beautiful flower. Everybody loves flowers. That's a little something you can do. If you're good at painting or drawing, do some. Give them to your friends and family. It'll make them feel good. If you're good at singing or writing songs or writing stories, do it and share it with others. Those are all little things we can do to turn around maybe a not so great day to a really good day. You know, I remember when my daughter Jenny was very little, down in grade school, you know, she loved to draw, and she'd bring home these pictures, and she loved to draw pictures with her mom and herself and the house and the dogs, you know, and she was very little, so maybe they weren't the greatest drawings of all, but you know what? She took a lot of time, she took a lot of care to make sure the lines were just right and chose the right colors. And she put a lot of thought, put a lot of effort, and put a lot of love into them. And I always loved those pictures. I truly did. In fact, I still have them pinned on my refrigerator. You know, and if I'm having sort of an off day, not feeling all that great, I'll go get one of those pictures and I'll sit down and I'll just look at it a few minutes, and I can feel that love, the care that she gave that. And you know what? It makes me feel better. So all these little things within us, that little divine spark, we can make a difference in this world. We can make it better or make it worse. But really what we want to do, we want to have a happy life. We want a good life. So we always try to make things better, right? You know, share with yourself. That's a wonderful thing. You know, you guys might have noticed I have a little different t-shirt on today. I had these made a few weeks ago, and it's a word I want to teach you today. It's called Namaste. It's a word that comes from India. It's a very, very old word. And I'm going to teach you a little bit about what it means, because it sort of goes along with what we're talking about. Namaste is used a lot of times as a greeting. They say it instead of hi or hello, they say namaste, or maybe when they say goodbye, or maybe when somebody does something really kind for them, you know, they say namaste. So what does it mean? All right, it means I bow to the divine in you. That means I understand I have that little divine spark in me, and so do you. You know, we may be different, we may be from different countries, maybe not even speak the same language, but I know we are the same in here. You know, I think that's a beautiful way to look at life. You know, we run into all sorts of people, and some of them maybe aren't our best friends by any means, but you know what? In this way, we're all alike. We can all create a better world. We can create a better universe for everybody. I think that's pretty beautiful, don't you? Guys, I want to thank you for being with us. This is a little bit of lesson about how we're all connected. And I think that's important for us to remember each and every day with everybody we come in contact with. Be good and kind to the people we run into. Be good to all the plants and trees and Mother Nature, our rivers and streams and lakes. It's all important, guys. We're all connected. I love you guys. You guys are doing so good. You're learning so much. And I know you're practicing some of this each and every day. All right, today we're going to close with giving off some energy. All right? If you guys learned a little bit about meditation, you understand what I'm doing here when we breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. Today, I just want to give off good energy to our whole world and to the universe and everybody there, all the plants, the animals, the rocks, everything, okay? So go with me now, guys. Get comfortable and start breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Begin to feel that energy in our head, collecting in our head, that beautiful white light, that beautiful, beautiful positive energy. In through our nose, out through our mouth. It's getting bigger and bigger. With every breath, it's getting bigger and bigger. Okay, guys, let's send it out. We're sending it out to our world, to the universe. Everybody's going to pick up this beautiful, beautiful energy. All the plants, the animals, the rocks, you and me. We're helping the world, we're helping the universe today. Okay, guys, come back with me now. You feel better? I guarantee you the world and the universe does too because of you. All of us together, each of us, each and every one of us can make a big difference. I'm counting on you guys. Let's make the world better. See you next time, guys. Be good. Enjoy your day.